In Dutchtown gathering earlier today as they work to better their community and improve safety in their South City neighborhood. The Community Improvement District there putting on its 5th annual Safety Summit. The group, made up of neighborhood volunteers, taking time to inform residents of the latest initiatives. A community advocate tells us keeping the community up to date keeps the neighborhood safer and can break down stigmas.
There is a difference between the reality of crime and the perception of crime and the ways in which we solve each of those things. And one of the ways that we can start to dismantle the perception of high crime is to have honest and grounded conversations about what it looks like in our neighborhood and what we are doing to organize around it.
Adams also says residents are encouraged to join the curated community network camera initiative. She says any resident can sign up for existing cameras facing streets or alleys.